So can you share with us, Nancy, what your greatest joy has been?
Seeing the next generation. That is the great, to see them turning into wonderful people.
Yeah.
They're still young, they're still forming, and I just love seeing them turning into people.
Great. That's wonderful. That's great. Joan, how about you? And what is your
I totally agree
greatest
with
joy?
what, you said that I am very proud that we all survived and still loved each other, and for better or for worse.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Family is wonderful, isn't
Yes.
it? And to watch them grow up and
Yeah.
come into their own and make the right decisions, good decisions. And
Be able to teach them that life is not always a bowl of cherries. Get ready for it.
Yeah.
Because you have to get through it.
That's right. Got to be prepared. Yeah. You've both lived through a lot of changes here locally in our United States, and even certainly around the world. You've seen a lot of things come and go. We've got technology that has just gone way beyond what most any of us could ever have imagined.
Us particularly.
So what are your thoughts on that? What are some of the things that you've seen, some of the changes that you've seen that you might want to comment on, whether it be technology or some different appliances that you've experienced good or bad things with?
Well, technology is the big one. And watching the kids with computers and smartphones and tablets and how they just navigate through it. I do a little bit, wouldn't be without, got my phone right here next to me. And it keeps me in touch. Thank goodness for social media. I've got grandchildren that are in Europe. And we can share pictures back and forth, which is wonderful. But it also scares me. What happens if the grid went down and we were left without? And in retail, from time to time, we would have, the power would go down, our electronic cash registers would go down. Well, I grew up working in a store where you wrote out tickets and you added the columns at the end of the month and sent out bills. But seeing some kids who cannot make change by counting up. But then I'm amazed because some of them, they are so good at math in their head that they've already done the subtraction and know how much money to give back as change. That amazes me.
So it really is individual by individual.
Yes.
So
definitely.
There have been so many changes with technology, and some of them are good, and some of them are not so good. But I think in general, I'm with you. Like I said, my family's in Houston, Texas, or in that area. So a lot of them, and so to be able to keep up with great nieces and nephews and others that are still there, it's just nice to be able to get on Facebook or just email or texting, to be able to have that information. That's right. That's right.
And getting the instant back and forth.
Right.
There's nothing that I love more than seeing my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to sit down and talk to them, not on the phone, but just talk to them and get their feelings on different things. And so far, I'm very happy. I think that they've got a lot of different things to cope with than I did. But I had a lot different than they did too. So, you know, I enjoy it. I love to sit and talk to the kids.
Yeah.
And they're not kids anymore.
All too bad.
Are there any particular things that that have caused you a lot of pain in your life?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Can you share any of that with us? Or?
Well, my first son was born handicapped, mentally handicapped. He's still here.
Yeah.
He was with us for 25 years.
Wow.
And he's in a great place now, back on Long Island. And we get to see him. He's doing fine. Good. He's doing better than we are.
Wow. Yeah.
But it was a tough thing.
It's tough, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a tough thing to go through.
But that was something that I thought you did that was so smart. That I have seen parents of handicapped kids who take care of the child until they're too old to take care of them.
And then it goes,
And then that is so terrible.
That is.
Particularly on the child.
Yeah.
And you introduced him to a
What
new environment
Right.
fairly early.
yes.
So he could be adjusted and get used to the
Came
gradual.
home it was beginning every weekend, then it was every other weekend. And he wasn't that far away from us. But he got used to living away from his home. And he's there now, and he's doing better than the rest of us.
Doing okay, yeah.
In the same place. You know. But no, that had to be.
Yeah.
We knew that. We couldn't just keep going.
But you were
because
smart enough to
Yeah,
know
I
it, to
think-
recognize, and
Oh,
to
yeah.
deal with it.
You had to. You had to. Well, a lot of people didn't, and they passed it on to their kids, which was the worst thing you could possibly
Very
do.
difficult, yes.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah. How about you, Nancy? Any particular thing that caused some great pain in your life?
I'm not a people person. I'm an animal person. I think I've grieved more over the loss of pets than I have over.
Yeah.
I never had a sudden departure. That family and that, you could see that you knew it was
Right.
coming. You had your time with them. No, and I rescue animals when I can.
Yeah, and sometimes with pets, it just seems to happen either suddenly or just much sooner than you anticipate. It is tough.
Their lifetimes are so much shorter than
That's
ours.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
In general, they sure are. Yeah.
But no, if I see a little wounded animal on the road or someplace, I'll pick it up, take care of it, get it to a nature center, someplace that can care for it.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family gave it the greatest compliment years ago. And they said, you know, let me tell you something. The best party we ever had, or we ever have, is at your house. Boy, do you have, and we had our son there. And he loved the people. He'd be dancing with everybody, you know, whatever. But they all said the same thing. They said, we always had a ball.
Yeah.
That's
That's great.
what you're supposed to do.
That's great. Yeah.
And if you don't have another drink, and you'll be better.
Up to a point.
That's right. That's right. Let's talk about role models in your lives. Who was the greatest role model for you, Nancy? I mean, like, was it a mom? Was it a Sunday school teacher? Was it, you know, somebody that you worked with? Who was a significant role model in
For
your
a
life?
role model, it would be my mother,
Okay.
who was a great flower arranger and probably gave me my love of plants. There have been others, a science teacher that I still have a pet peeve with, that about escape velocity, and we didn't quite agree on that. And then the professor I had recently that still, social media, he posts on social media about climate change, and life as it is now and what we can do to help make the world better. And I follow him, and he's been an influence to give me
Yeah.
little inspiration.
Great.
Don't just throw it out, recycle it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many things that we can recycle or repurpose.
Yes.
Reuse. Yes. Joan, how about you? Who's been a role model in your life?
My mother.
Your mother?
Yes, most definitely. And I think she was my role model because she took life as it is and accepted it. And that was what she expected of my sister and of me. That's okay, that's too bad, that's tough, but now pick up your bootstraps and do something about it. Don't sit around here moaning. And she was a good representative. She was somebody that I would admire a lot.
That's
you know.
great.
And I never know, people talk about their childhood and their being hit and whatever. Nobody ever laid a hand on me or my sister, ever. And sometimes you wish they had, because they'd sit and talk to you for an hour and a half. Yeah,
Just
okay.
get it over with, right?
Come on, hit me. No, and my father was worked for the airlines, and he had a tough upbringing. He went to work when he was 9 and support his mom. But boy, did he love to party. And, you know, come on, girls, get out here at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I remember it not as embarrassing or anything. It was just, there he goes again, you know. You just accepted it. So I had a rather different upbringing, I think. But I never heard him use a bad word or anything like that. He just liked to party.
Yeah.
And that was about it. And have a few drinks while he's But my mother was a great inspiration, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had good parents.
Yeah. It's interesting that both of you mentioned your moms, because I do think that in general, I think our moms have the most powerful influence on us, and then we as moms have that kind of influence on our children and grandchildren.
Yes, I do believe that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it makes us really stop and think, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, my mom was great. And she was tough too, you know.
Was she
Don't
tough?
sit and cry over something. Just get up and make it better. That's it.
Yeah.
Never, oh, come here and let me hold you. Hey, we all have bad times. You're going to cry, go in your room, get it over with. And
Well, let me ask you this question. Has faith played any kind of role in your life? A faith in God, a faith in, you know, do you?
I had the small, what I call phony faith, is when you're very young and you go and you do all the things you're supposed to do. And then when this situation happened with my son, that was the end of my faith. I didn't, but it came back. And yes, I still have faith. Yeah. And it helps you along. I mean, I don't go around. I love to go to church. I love to see communion and what have you. But I don't cry myself to sleep if I don't make it, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, faith is very important to me.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I like to ask, because you know, there's faith in a lot of different things.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people believe even in different gods, and so my curiosity is the God you believe in, is it the God that sent his son Jesus? Is that the God that you believe in, or is there or is that where your faith lies?
That's a hard question.
Okay.
I believe there was a God. I believe that he inspired tremendous amounts of people. The other question you asked was the thing that I was having a trouble with, and I can't remember what it was right now, but my faith came not only from the belief that there is a God, but the belief that I can overcome anything, and if I have to. I just feel that way, that no matter what happens, whether it's God or what it is, that I have to find a way out. I'm not going to sit around and say, please help me. It's up to me.
Yeah, I think God helps us help ourselves.
I think so.
I think, we definitely don't sit back and are not supposed to sit back and do nothing. We definitely have to do our part. But
and we know
I
right
think
from wrongs by God.
Yeah.
I do anyway. I know what the right thing to do and the wrong thing is to do.
Yeah.
And I love to go to church. Read a lot, but I'm not that good anymore.
Well, we're not any of us good on our own. That's why I think it's important to have that faith and to trust in God to be by our side and to guide and direct our steps.
I don't think about life and death and things like that. I never have. What is. What will be, will be. And I don't go around and say, I wonder how long I'm going to live. I just hope I enjoy the day that's here.
Right.
What happens tomorrow is a whole different game.
It's tomorrow. Yeah. Nancy, how about you? Does faith play a role in who you are and where you are today?
Yeah, a faith in a something that is kind of a mixture of all religions. They all have a common thread. That there's a general purpose, and that I don't know, that things will work out. I did a lot of science fiction reading. That gave different insights, different ideas of how there could be a universal intelligence or something special out there. So, I have a faith in something beyond me. But that something beyond me may be within me. A little bit of both.
Okay. All right. So what is one thing or maybe two things that you would like to be remembered for? How would you like to be remembered?
Oh gosh, for a knit menagerie. Rescuing animals and that is a fleeting thing.
Okay.
I think I'm grateful to the fact that, for one reason or other, good or bad, I have the ability to make people laugh and make them smile.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. Might not be right, but it's the way I can get through. And so I don't sit around people who are groaning and moaning. I don't like that at all. If you have nothing good to say, don't say anything. I know people that sit there and actually wonder how long they're going to live. I said, the secret is to live every day. Not to worry about when you're not going to live.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Who knows? It might be better than here. It probably is.
So that sounds like some good advice. What kind of advice would you give to people in our society, just in general? I mean, there are just so many changes that you've seen, over the years, and you've seen, a lot of different experience a lot of different personalities and different people and ways that they think and they live their lives. What kind of advice would you give to people today?
Right? Don't plan or think about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. Enjoy today.
And engage with whoever you are with. Enjoy them for who they are. And live in the now.
Yeah.
And enjoy the
I
now.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And reach out to
Yes.
as many people as you can. This is a hermit talking.
But I don't think about when I'm going to die. I'll die when the time comes to die.
That's
I won't
right.
have anything to say about it. So,
Yeah.
so, I don't make that any big thing.
Yeah. And I think that's good advice to give to people. I think that there are too many people that, they get an illness or they have something that's going wrong and they just some of them just
Give up.
give up.
Yeah.
And they don't even reach out and try to engage in life at all. They're really just sitting back and waiting for that time to come. And that time may be 5 years from now.
The people that seem to have the most problems are the people that have no problems. People that have real problems are usually very
Yes.
upgoing, funny, because they have these problems and they don't want to live with them every day. But you see people that have everything under the sun, and they're always complaining about something, and that's sad. It truly is sad.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, life is for the living, right?
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. As long as you can take a good breath when you get out of bed. Who knows?
And live.
Yeah.
Live for the moment.
Yes, absolutely. I totally believe in that. Live for the moment.
Yeah. I mean, we have to plan some things. We have to
yes.
anticipate some things, but still, just
We
live.
have to have money to live with for the moment lots of times too. And I've been alone for a long time. My husband passed away quite some time ago, and now that I have my youngest son, who is my helper, he can advise me better than anyone else, and he can talk turkey to me and tell me what I have to do. And he's right. Sometimes I get down, but not often. I don't let myself get that down. I'll have a glass of wine or something and get right up.
Oh, gosh. Well, anything else? Any other thoughts on retirement and the joy of retirement? Anything that you'd like to share that maybe we haven't touched on already?
Find something that you really enjoy doing and do it as best you can. You may not be perfect at it,
Yeah.
but give it a shot.
That's right. That's right.
And if you have the ability, do everything you always wanted to do but never had the time to do. And instead of sitting around saying, I'm too old to do that, I'm too old. You're not. Nobody's too old.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so I think I'll go street walking or something. No. I think there's so many things that I have done in a lifetime that because I had a handicapped son, people say, you did what? And I said, well, we always made sure he was well taken care of. And yes, we would go places and we'd do all sorts of crazy things, my husband and I, and come home and we'd be better for it. And my son was better for it too. We didn't sit and moan about it. There's nothing you can do about it. So, but it's up here, and I think you have to have a lot of faith in yourself. You really have to have faith in yourself. And when you don't have it, kick yourself in the backside if possible.
And get up and do it anyway.
And do it anyway.
So any secrets to living to the ages where you are today?
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. What do you mean?
But it sounds like, so were you active?
Oh,
You
yes.
liked sports, so you
I
were
was,
active all of your life?
all of my life.
Okay.
Yes. And
Stayed in pretty good shape and
yes, and I had good friends. I had a great husband and 2 great kids. And they weren't great. I mean, we were all ordinary, but no, sure I had bad times. Sure I had times that I wanted to give up. But
you didn't.
don't.
That's right. That's right. Nancy, how about you? Any secret to living long?
I had horses for a while.
Okay.
That's good exercise.
Yeah.
Not necessarily riding them. Mucking them out, brushing them, taking care of them. That's more of it.
You had.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up with horses too, so yeah.
Manure pile makes the best garden.
Getting up on a horse was the hardest when you were about this high.
Oh, I cheated. I got a cart.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
And I sat
did
behind
too.
the horse.
Yes. Oh, no, I got up on the side.
No, I got a little buggy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yes.
But, yeah, just getting out, doing stuff. And the biggest secret of all is excellent genes from our parents.
Excellent genes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have no control
Yes.
over it, but
Well, mine didn't have that, really. I mean, they didn't live that long, no. My father.
you must have gotten best from both sides.
My grandmother lived forever, I think, my father's mother. But no, he had a lot of issues, my father did. And he decided to leave the world before he was ready. That was unfortunate. And my mother passed away early. So it was just my sister and I. And she had enough problems to keep me going for the rest of my life, So.
Oh my gosh. Well, it must have been that grandmother.
My grandmother was, she was okay.